for Ekiti and Osun governorship elections. And outbreak of strange disease in Bayelsa State. Federal government says health facilities are on alert. Good evening and welcome to the news tonight. We're live on the network service of the NTA. I'm Sheung Olagunju in Abuja, Nigeria's capital city. Ademola Adeoye is in Lagos, while Abdullahi Muhammad is on standby in our Kaduna studio. And Beauty Akobamieng is in Enugu. Thank you for joining us. 100 billion naira proceeds of Nigeria's debut Sukuk bond have been presented to the Federal Ministry of Power, Works and Housing for the construction and rehabilitation of 25 roads across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country. The presentation was just done by the Minister of Finance, Kemi Adeosun, now sets the tone for road contractors to go back to site and finish pending projects. Oyeyemi Ajayi has the details.
The presentation is coming against the background of the complaints made by the road contractors who have blamed the slow pace of work in different roads in the country on lack of funds. The financial instrument, which was oversubscribed to the tune of 105.87 billion naira, is the first of its kind in the country. It is meant to end any form of financial delay in some of the road projects, promote financial inclusion, as well as unlock economic potential of the country through the opening up of the key economic zones in the country.
Message of confidence that there is still a lot of promise in this economy, not only by its full subscription, but by its oversubscription.
So it's really about financial dealing, it's about inclusion and getting people who would ordinarily not want to invest because of the interest element to feel that they are part of the investing community. And we're using this money on roads that are going to unlock the potential in this economy.
Each geopolitical zone has been given 16.6 billion naira. Out of the 25 targeted projects, 5 of them are in North Central. The Northeast, Northwest and Southeast have 4 each, 5 in South-South and 3 projects in Southwest.
For us, it is significant that there is now capital specifically to be deployed to roads, so that the growth we're expecting, the economic activities that we're expecting would begin to take off.
In Abuja, Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari this Thursday engaged the Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, to chart a pragmatic course for the actualization of the railway modernization and expansion projects. This is in furtherance of the federal government's commitment towards linking more state capitals as well as major commercial and production centers with the railway system for rapid socio-economic development and regional integration. State House correspondent Adamu Sambu reports.
While inaugurating the Abuja-Kaduna railway track, marking the symbolic return of rail service in Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari promised to place due attention on pursuing the 25-year strategic railway master plan. This is aimed at rehabilitating the existing narrow gauge rail line as well as developing and constructing new standard gauge rail lines across the country. Transportation Minister Rotimi Amechi was therefore summoned by the President to bring him up to speed regarding negotiations for the funding of the recently approved eastern flank of the Nigeria Railway Modernization Project.
Don't forget that the President sleeps and wakes up thinking about railways. You are aware that we have gotten approval for the eastern flank of the Nigerian Railway Modernization, which has to do with from Port Harcourt to Maiduguri, and then also the other railway from Kano to Maradi in Niger Republic. I'm there to brief the President about how we are progressing with the negotiation of loans and all that, and our possible financiers.
The projects are estimated to gulp $16 billion to be executed either through public-private partnership or other financing models. Ongoing activities on the Lagos-Ibadan, Kano railway projects, amongst others, were also discussed.
Between now and December, we should ensure efficiency in the narrow gauge. We're bringing in more locomotives, we're bringing in more coaches and wagons. We're expecting 10 for Kaduna, Abuja, where under 7 will also come, and that 7 will hopefully think it will go to Itabewari, because we believe that by next year, June, Itabewari should be ready. If not for a hitch, we have commenced trucking cargo from Apapa Seaport to Ebute Meta and take away the challenges we're having with that Apapa grid and the bad road. That will happen before December.
Other priority projects for the ministry include Boni, Warri, and Calabar Deep Sea Ports, as well as the Port Harcourt Railway Industrial Park. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
And to the National Assembly, the Senate, at plenary, has considered an executive communication from President Muhammadu Buhari requesting for the virement of funds from various budget lines to fund federal government's priority projects and programs. National Assembly correspondent Dennis Adegunloye reports on this and the consideration of reports of the Joint Committee on Appropriation and Finance on the implementation of the 2017 budget.
The request for the virement of funds by President Muhammadu Buhari was candidly debated, and the lawmakers were in consensus that such a request is not out of the ordinary, although all aspects must be carefully analyzed.
There is a need for every senator represented here to have a copy of this virement so that we can study it ahead of the report of the Appropriation Committee.
Virement is normal in government activities. His Excellency, the President of the Senate, was a governor before, and I'm sure he had done a lot of virement when he was ruling Kwara State.
Thank you. Distinguished colleagues, on a serious note, this has been a request that has come from the executive, and we have said many times that we will always continue to give support to the executive and sometimes bend backwards as much as possible from that we're not breaking the law, to assist them.
The Senate also considered the report of Joint Committee on Appropriations and Finance on implementation of the 2017 budget.
The committee wishes to recommend as follows. 1, that the issue of silent borrowing be resolved with the executive without further delay. That the 2018 budget proposal be passed expeditiously when brought to the National Assembly to allow for full implementation.
The earlier the executive seek to attend a 50% level of implementation in the 2017 budget, the better.
When you say there should be at least a 50% implementation, I think we should give the executive arm of government that chance to implement the budget as we encourage them to.
And various reports of committees on 2017 budgets of corporations and agencies of government. Also considered was the report of the Joint Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters and Anti-Corruption and Financial Crimes. From the National Assembly, Dennis Adegunloye, NTA News.
The Buhari administration has resolved not to interfere in electoral processes, and this position was reaffirmed by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo at a dialogue with the civil society group in Abuja. The Vice President also said work is on towards ensuring the 2018 budget is signed by December this year. State House correspondent Gideon Ifadi reports.
This is the Civil Society Situation Room, where dialogue on critical national issues is taking place between the Vice President and more than 70 civil society groups. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo was on his feet for over an hour, answering questions from members of the civil society groups. Among the questions was if the Buhari administration would ensure credible elections in Nigeria. Other questions covered areas such as full implementation of budget, women and youth involvement in governance, transparency, fight against corruption, national unity, primary health care scheme, the economy, and many others.
In my view, the most important problem that this country has. People talk about all manner of things. Once we restructure, everything will be fine. But if we get the best structuring arrangement and we still tolerate the levels of corruption that we're tolerating, I don't see how we're going to make much progress. I think, we really need to address the issue of corruption. And I really believe that the duty of civil society must be to be an active participant, to be fully engaged in the anti-corruption.
Looking at governance issues, and governance issues include the politics of the country, the security situation, the conduct of elections, governance issues generally. And we think that looking at several of these issues. There are challenges.
Such opportunities ought to come up fairly more regular, because what we found is that there were some preconceptions on our own part as civil society, because we're not sure what steps were being taken by government, and so we form our opinion. So the time we had with him and the clarifications he gave at least gave us more clarity.
I think that the way that he answered, the manner in which he was able to answer the questions shows that there is some serious thinking going on in government, the mental capacity to even encompass the dimensions and the size of the concerns of Nigeria.
Dialogue between government and the citizens is seen as an invaluable part of democracy and open government, and this is one good example of it. In Abuja, Jide Onifade, NT News.
The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has released the electoral calendar for Ekiti and Osun States governorship elections. INEC National Commissioner Southwest and Chairman Information and Voter Education Committee, Prince Adedeji Shoibi, gave a breakdown of the activities to political correspondents at the INEC headquarters in Abuja. Ifeanyi Okafor reports.
Chairman Information and Voter Education Committee announced that the tenure of the governor of Ekiti State ends on the 15th of October 2018, while the tenure of the Osun State governor terminates on the 26th of November 2018. For the Ekiti State governorship election, he says in exercise of the powers conferred on the commission, the notice of election will be made public on the 4th of April 2018, while campaigns by political parties is for the 15th of April. Collection of forms, 16th of April, while party primaries, including resolution of disputes arising from the primaries, will run through 15th of April to 14th of May 2018. The last day for withdrawal and replacement for candidates is on the 30th of May, while the last day for campaigns is on the 12th of July, with the date of election on the 14th of July 2018. Prince Shoibi announced that for Osun State, notice of election is 23rd of June 2018, the campaigns begin 24th of June, collection of forms by political parties 25th of June, with the last day of submission on the 24th of July. Other details announced include last day for submission of nomination forms, publication of voters, and final list of candidates, with the last day of campaigns on September 20, 2018, and the election date 22nd September 2018.
Anybody who deviates from any of these guidelines, especially with campaigns, is committing an offense under the Electoral Act.
Earlier in the week, the INEC chairman, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, in a consultative meeting with the media, announced the electoral calendar for Anambra State on November 18, 2017. And for the presidential and National Assembly elections, which will hold on Saturday, 16th February 2019, while the governorship, state assembly, and Federal Capital Territory Area Council elections is to hold on Saturday, 2nd March 2019. From the INEC headquarters in Abuja, Ifeanyi Okafor, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has presented Mrs. Aisha Ahmad to the Senate for confirmation as Deputy Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN. She is to replace a former Deputy Governor who retired early this year. A statement from the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, says the appointment is in accordance with the provisions of Section 812 of the Central Bank of Nigeria Act 2007. It states that President Buhari urged the Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, to consider the expeditious confirmation of Mrs. Ahmed, who would then resume work immediately. In the same vein, the President has written the Senate seeking the confirmation of the appointment of members of the Monetary Policy Committee of the CBN. They are to replace 4 members whose tenure expire at the end of this year. The nominees are Professor Adiola Festus Adenikinju, Dr. Aliyu Rafindede Sanusi, Dr. Robert Chikwendo Asogwa, and Dr. Asheik A. Medugu. After Senate clearance, the new members of the Monetary Policy Committee are to resume duty next January. The federal government says it is gearing up for the next phase of the full actualization of the ongoing broadcast digital switchover project. Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed stated this at the commissioning of an ultra-modern surface mount technology digital set-top boxes manufacturing plant in Calabar, the Cross River State capital. Anthony Forsing reports.
As a strategic response to Nigeria's quest to comply with the International Telecommunication Union's guideline for member nations to transit from analog to digital broadcasting, one of the primary components for a successful transition is the availability of set-top boxes and decoders. Nigeria, on its part, has opted to produce them locally. One of the licensed manufacturers is Gospel Digital Technology.
On behalf of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, that prosperity will continue to reign in Nigeria.
With the formal coming on stream of the manufacturing plant, the Information and Culture Minister gave the investors a pat on the back with the assurance that the digital switchover project will enter a new phase.
There are a number of initiatives that we will be focusing on in order to achieve a credible and effective development of the digital economy. The consumer proposition that's all-encompassing, which most Nigerians have never had access to, that is 30 digital channels and counting. Television is all about content, and we are going to ensure that more emphasis is placed on this critical component of the industry.
The minister said, with a proper democratic environment, key players will get reward for their investments, hence the regime of forensic audience measurement, which digitization offers.
If it is your program that people are watching, you will be the recipient of higher revenues because the advertisers will run to you. We also intend to create a 100 billion naira per annum free TV distribution network for Nollywood.
The Cross River State Governor, on his part, assured that the state government will partner with the company in the interest of the people of the state.
I, on behalf of Cross River State Government, is going to make a commitment here and now that we will take an order from you, placing an order today for 5,000 set-top boxes.
In my view, and one that directly relates to President Muhammadu Buhari's vision, it is the opportunity to open up the broad avenues of a digital revolution in our country through the creation of jobs and the contribution towards industrialization.
The government was thorough in planning the transition and making sure that every stakeholder played a role.
The vision of Gospel Digital Technology is to emerge as the leading manufacturer of household electrical appliances in Africa. In Calabar, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
We'd like to let you know that you can watch this news live online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device at the Google Play Store or at the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS. We're set for our first break tonight, and ahead on the news, strategic importance of teachers in focus as Nigeria joins the rest of the world to celebrate Teachers' Day. Stay with us.
From 1967 to 1970, Nigeria went through a horrifying civil war. It didn't matter who was wrong or right. Everybody suffered. Those who fought that war say it should never happen again.
So a lot of people will say, but you were leading the first one. Yes, I led the first one. I don't think a second one is necessary. We should have learned from that first one. Otherwise, the dead would have been to no avail, would all have been in vain.
The words of our elders are full of wisdom.
This is a public service announcement brought to you by NTA.
Wait, Madam Celebrant, just hold on and give the address to the driver. I beg, hold on.
Hello? Madam, straight off finish show.
The party goes soon start, so Chrissy, help me go and buy recharge card. Oh yeah, everybody, let's go, let's go, let's go. Okay. Hello, Madam Celebrant.
With Glow's Sharp e-top up, you get 8 times the value of your recharge. Plus, you continue to enjoy all the airtime and data benefits on your plan.
Where the credit now? Now sharp e-top up. I do enter your phone straight. Blood of Zachariah. Well, you don't know say e-top up no they give all the plan benefits like bonus airtime and data. Now e-top up they give you all the better plan benefits plus more. Christy. Don't worry, I go put small thing on top of your money later. I be the wonder when that you feel square me the money sharp like e-top up. I very good to like money.
The largest data network, Glow, grandmasters of data.
Hey, now who they here? My name now Mr. Shortcut. I dey mind my money. Now cheap one I dey buy. Standard, we say. Now to buy cheap one. Hey, now one kind cable for my yard and cheap building material where we take build my office. I think say I dey save money. Office building collapse and fire burn my house.
You don't see what happened to Mr. Shortcut? Well, Standards Organization of Nigeria, SON, don't ready for action and say enough of pain, loss and wastage. And if you see product where no dey correct, call the SON office when near you or SON help desk. Standards Organization of Nigeria, improving life through standards.
We want to buy Indomie noodles. 4 packs, please.
Yo.
This is not my Indomie. Please, sir, if it's not Indomie, don't call it Indomie. Sir, the taste is the difference. The difference is in the taste. That's why my brothers, my mommy, my daddy, and I all enjoy a delicious, so very delicious Indomie noodles. The difference is the taste. Taste is the difference. Yes, difference is in the taste. Nothing tastes like my Indomie.
Indomie noodles, tasty nutrition, good for you.
This must be one of Mother Nature's greatest gifts. But there's something else it gives us. When we see such beauty, we want to share it with those we love. That's what LG wants you to see. Just what we see now through our technology. LG OLED TV.
Whenever pain occurs, you want quick relief. Try new Nurofen Express. It goes to the source of pain and gets to work in under 15 minutes. That's why Nurofen Express delivers fast and effective relief. New Nurofen Express works at the source of pain, fast.
Being a mom is great, but when your child has a fever, you don't know what to do. I trust Nurofen for Children to take care of my child's pain and fever.
Effective relief you can trust.
What makes a Naija mom powerful?
I encourage my kids to learn new things, and if they get hurt, I rely on the power of my Dettol's 1 capful to fight germs.
My family needs protection from germs. I use the power of Dettol's 1 capful to disinfect surfaces and clothes.
I trust the power of Dettol's 1 capful for bathing. The power of Dettol's 1 capful protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs.
Be a powerful Naija mom with Dettol. Be 100% sure.
Do you know that the Nigerian police now operates in the best international practices of policing? Do you know that the Nigerian police has been restructured to be more accountable and responsive to all your security challenges? Now, what the police demand from you is your trust, your collaborative efforts by providing necessary information about criminals and their activities in your neighborhood. Be vigilant to achieve our creed as we promise. We shall police the country based on international core values of policing with integrity. We shall ensure that rule of law prevails in our actions and activities. We shall respect diversity, display courage, show compassion, and demonstrate professionalism. We shall operate within the principle of democratic policing. We shall shun corruption, and we shall make Nigeria safer and secured under the leadership of IGP Ibrahim Otum Idris.
Let the wind of change blowing across the country chase away crime for the benefit of our society. Yes, the Nigerian police says this change must come with peace and tranquility.
This message was brought to you by the Public Relations Department of the Nigerian Police Force.
Hot and dry condition causes the body to sweat, which attracts germs that are easily passed from one person to another. Dettol Cool combines Dettol's protection and an invincible icy feel for super cool confidence. Use Dettol Cool.
Thanks for staying with us on the Network News. A new deadly viral epidemic known as monkeypox has broken out in Bayelsa State. The State Commissioner for Health, Ibitimitsula Itebo, who confirmed the development, says samples of the virus had been sent to the World Health Organization laboratory in Dakar, Senegal, for confirmation. And in a swift reaction, the Minister of Health, Professor Isaac Adewale, said health facilities have been placed on alert and patients were quarantined while supportive treatments are being given. Thursday's plenary at the House of Representatives commenced on a political note with the issue of defection taking center stage. 2 members of the House have defected from the People's Democratic Party, PDP, to the All Progressives Congress, APC. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nkwo reports that the reasons given by the defectors created a rowdy session.
Defection is a serious matter in Parliament, and the mood on the floor of the House of Representatives at Thursday's plenary was not different following the defection of Representatives Ahmed Yusuf Tejani from Kogi State and Zephaniah Gisalo from the FCT. The 2 members defected from the PDP to the APC, citing division in PDP as their reasons. But the minority whip of the House, Omar Barde, raised a point of order against their reasons.
And there is no division in PDP, and both of them must vacate their seat.
The judiciary to do their work, examine the situation and tell us, and then we can enforce their decision, please. That's my ruling.
Thereafter, the legislators, in a motion of urgent public importance by Representative Omosode Ibinedion, urged government at all levels to improve the working conditions of teachers in the country in commemoration of the 2017 Teachers' Day. The issue of Nigeria's diplomatic mission featured on the floor as Representative Nenna Ukeje and 21 others moved the motion mandating its Committee on Foreign Affairs to conduct a public hearing on the state of Nigeria's foreign missions. As Representative George Oladele and 5 others called for a review of Nigeria's continued membership of ECOWAS in view of the clamor to admit Morocco into the organization.
The reality in Nigeria is that the foreign affairs budget is a fraction of a fraction.
And I've seen how they live, Mr. Speaker. It is a terrible situation.
They are not funded properly.
The inclusion of Morocco again to ECOWAS will jeopardize our national interests in the area of trade and commerce.
The motion on the need to regulate the movement of articulated vehicles on Abuja-Kefi Road by Representative Anayo Nnebe was adopted, while a bill for an act to establish the FCT Emergency Management Agency, sponsored by Representative Sergio Sogun, was passed for second reading.
Call on the Federal Capital Territory Administration to determine the nature of restrictions to be placed on movement of articulated vehicles.
Because it's only FEMA that can plan for emergency in FCT.
Also passed for second reading is a bill for an act to establish a federal university in Asaba, sponsored by Representative Joan Rabo from Delta State. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
The inauguration of the Ibadan NNPC depot has been described as a proactive development that will further boost distribution of petroleum products across the country. The Group Managing Director of the NNPC, Dr. Mikanti Baru, said this is in line with the key mandate of the present administration to revamp abandoned assets for the overall good of Nigerians. Lydia Sampson has the report.
Due to incessant vandalism of the pipelines that supply product to Ibadan depot, the depot has been in comatose. Therefore, the inauguration of the depot at this time was greeted with joy by the people, including the Oyo State Governor, Senator Abiola Ajimobi.
I'm a reformer, R for reformer, T is a transformer, and A is an actualizer. You know, he walks his talk.
For the Group Managing Director, NNPC, the inauguration is a giant stride under the corporation's 12 business focus areas to revamp NNPC critical assets for sustainable development of the sector. This is not the first project rehabilitated this year, and many more are receiving same attention.
Mr. President has made all the necessary support and given us the enabling environment to deliver. And I have dedicated staff who know what they're doing, and they will deliver and will deliver on time.
Various key players commended NNPC for the gesture.
Availability of petroleum product in Ibadan state and its neighboring state, and again is a provision of employment.
For the people of the ancient city, especially staff of the depot, their joys knows no bound, as this is the first time a serving GMD visited the Ibadan depot since its establishment in 1979. From Ibadan, Lydia Samson, NTA News.
And as part of strategies to ensure efficiency, the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC, has organized a stakeholders consultative meeting on the review of multi-year tariff order methodology, business continuity regulation and eligible customer declaration in Kano. Sani Bashiru reports that the meeting was attended by stakeholders from the northwest geopolitical zone of the country.
The two-day consultation forum is set out to amend the existing tariff methodology used for determining electricity tariffs in the Nigerian electricity supply industry. Vice Chairman, Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, Sunusi Garba, said this is in line with Section 76, Subsection 9 of the Electric Power Sector Reform Act 2005 and the business rules of the Commission, which enable public make their inputs into the proposed regulations.
We need to consult with the public before coming out with the regulation that will allow consumers to buy electricity from generators, from power plants directly. The second issue that we are here to discuss with stakeholders is how we can make meters available to consumers.
Papers were presented on review of multi-year tariff order methodology and business continuity regulation, as well as eligible customers and metering. Stakeholders described the forum as a step towards addressing the problems facing the Nigerian electricity supply industry.
The forum is a very important one because it is a forum whereby there is dialogue between the consumers, the suppliers and the regulatory commission. If we can have sufficient electricity in Nigeria, we can be able to reach the milestone that we desire.
The more you buy, the less you pay. This system has to be adopted.
The consultation witnessed comments, reactions and inputs from stakeholders, which the Commission will consider before setting out for final decision on the draft regulation. In Kano, Sani Basiru, NTA News.
To complement government's efforts in poverty alleviation and create job opportunities, ZL Global Alliance, an environmental waste management company, is partnering the Bank of Industry in the disbursement of more than 300 million naira soft loans in Kaduna State. Abdullahi Garba Brinikudu reports that the initiative is another success story of the federal government enterprise and empowerment program, a social safety component.
The initiative, tagged CEO Dustbin Osarkin Bola, is targeting the more than 6,000 solid waste management workers, artisans and persons with disabilities who are to receive interest-free soft loans to engage in various skills acquisition. The loan facilitated by ZL Global Alliance and the Bank of Industry ranges from 10 to 100,000 naira and payable within 24 weeks with a 2-week grace period. Ahead of the loan disbursement, the beneficiaries have been engaged in free trainings for effective use of the loan facility. Managing Director and Chief Executive ZL Global Alliance of Nigeria, Abiola Vasharon, says the scheme is aimed at scaling up economic opportunities for families, especially among the waste management staff.
It is the money that they will use to grow their businesses. My dream for them is that by the time Malam has completed his 8 years, they will be like me. The women will be better than me. They too will be getting jobs in different corners of the states and even the country. And for the men, they too can even go into politics, they can go into anything because they will be responsible citizens of Nigeria and Kaduna State. One, for them to understand the principle that it is not a dash, it's not gifts, it is a loan, and they should use it for what they have filled the forms to do.
I benefited 100,000.
Okay.
I got my alert yesterday.
Okay, so what do you intend to use it for?
I want to open a barbing salon. Yes.
The total sum of the amount earmarked for the scheme at the first instance is 385 million naira. Abdullahi Garba Brunokudu, NTA News.
Now, wouldn't it be nice if host communities found unique ways of making people of other nationalities living amongst them feel welcome and properly integrated? Well, that's where the Cross River State Government has blazed the trail with the maiden edition of the Northern Cultural Festival, christened North Fest, which blazed off in Ogoja local government area. Uduak Etim reports that the event showcased the rich cultural heritage of the people and their agricultural potentials.
Addressing participants at the event, which had in attendance former Governor Lel Imoke and his deputy Efiokobom, Governor Yade maintained that for agriculture to serve as a way forward for the economy, people must come together. He charged the people to be focused and join in transforming the fortunes of the state for a brighter future. Former Governor Lel Imoke commended Governor Yade for his creativity and initiative, which he said will tremendously impact the lives of the people.
Today we are talking about agriculture as a way forward. So we all must come together. This is our first edition. We will make it bigger and better.
Like this great awareness, and they provide opportunity for our people to display themselves.
Indigenes of the area applauded the initiative, which they said is an indication that the people of Cross River State are united by their culture and occupational identity, pointing out that the gesture will move the people from subsistence to commercial farming.
It will be all right for you to come together and show unity.
The event will be held annually. From Ogoja local government area of Cross River State, Uduak Etam, NTN News.
Teaching and learning can help all those affected by insurgency to be reintegrated into the society. President Muhammadu Buhari stated this in a message to mark the 2017 World Teachers' Day in Abuja. Olayinka Ojo reports that issues bordering on retirement age for teachers, terminal grade level of graduate teachers, as well as teachers' welfare were highlighted.
Every time the World Teachers' Day comes up on the calendar of those who are vessels of knowledge, they embrace it with all fulfilled hope as their reward starts from earth and not in heaven. Apart from the chant of solidarity, they believe most of their aspirations are yet to be met.
All remuneration, TSS even is also a challenge.
I don't face any challenge in my state. I am being paid my salary as at when due.
Minister of Education Adamu Adamu says in addressing some of the challenges teachers are faced with, government has taken it upon itself to empower and strengthen the teaching profession for quality education delivery at all levels.
It is in keeping with our commitment to creating a conducive and safe environment for teaching and learning to flourish that the administration at its inception tackled the issue of insecurity in the Northeast and in other parts of the country.
Experience, which they say is the best teacher, has shown that local government council neither have the financial capacity nor the political will to fund and manage primary education in the country.
The theme for the 2017 World Teachers' Day is Teaching in Freedom, Empowering Teachers. In Abuja, Olayinka Ojo, NTA News.
Nigeria expands its business frontiers with European Union. Ademola has been on standby in our Lagos Network Center. It's now time for him to take it off. Ademola.
Thank you, Shil. Good evening and a warm welcome to Lagos. The development of the communication and technology sectors has been identified as an integral part of growth, capable of increasing the nation's gross domestic product. Head European Union delegation to Nigeria, Ambassador Kefil Kassan, noted this at the 6th European Union Nigeria Business Forum in Lagos. Abolade Salami has the details.
The communications and technological sectors are critical in driving any serious-minded economy, hence the need for the development of the sector in Nigeria. The European Union delegation to Nigeria, Ambassador Kefil Kassan, says EU is focused on equipping youths and women with requisite knowledge in the areas of ICT and agricultural development with a view to reduce unemployment.
This time around focusing on youth, focusing on women, how the digital industry, the ICT industry, and of course agriculture, how that can provide thousands of jobs supported by European investors. So this is definitely one of our main priorities.
Ambassador Kassan added that EU is committed to nurture the existing partnership between EU and Nigeria with a focus to strengthening business relations. Minister of Communication Adebayo Shito described the communication sector as an engine room for economic growth, with a call on EU to support Nigeria in developing this sector.
So far, our target is to ensure that by year 2020, Nigeria attains 30% connectivity. This can only be brought about by direct foreign investment because the Nigerian government does not have money to invest.
Meanwhile, panelists at the discussion segment suggested that for the sector to develop, there is an urgent need for the involvement of private sectors. The 6th EU Nigerian Business Forum has as its theme Youth as Engine of Broad-Based Economic Transformation. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
Seymour Aviation Limited unveiled its ultra-modern car park at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos. The facility, which aimed at providing comfort and convenience to travelers and other visitors, is a public-private partnership initiative. Ameji Pius has the details.
It's the first of its kind in Nigeria's aviation industry, a 6-level car park built with state-of-the-art facilities to accommodate 1,300 cars. Seymour Aviation Limited car park is strategically located at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport and has basic security technologies, anti-bomb detectors, and an executive waiting room for users of the facility.
There is a bomb detector here and there is fire alarm, so everything is well thought out and put in place such that we are guaranteed of safety. And this is on the backing of Dori Construction, which is an international construction company that designed and built this place.
The emergence of the world-class car park puts an end to indiscriminate parking around the airport and will drastically reduce activities of touts.
We can't keep on pretending to be ostriches, hiding our heads inside the sand, knowing fully well that the government doesn't have the resources to carry out all the development that it should. So, hence the essence of private sector involvement, which will bring in the expertise, apart from the liquidity, and the managerial acumen that you expect from a private sector approach.
This project will certainly touch the lives of airport users, but generally people who will look out for world-class car parking facility.
The facility, which was financed by Fidelity Bank, is a public-private partnership initiative that has a 30-year tenure. It's part of measures by government to upgrade the airport in line with international standard. From Lagos, Ameji Pius, NTA News.
You're still watching NTA Network News. We now take a break for some messages, after which the news continues shortly. Stay with us.
It's right here on your phone. Welcome to the Glow Cafe. Come on in. It's buzzing in the Zanga. In here, anything is possible. Check out the menu, and here are some of the hot items. Over here, you can buy credit, buy data, share data, borrow voice and data, give data. Give it to him now, be kind. Then there is Glow Music Cafe. More than 2 million Nigerian and Africa land back. Glow has teamed up with the world's largest gaming catalog to bring you the Glow Game Cafe. And that's just a start. Check out the Glow Video Cafe. Countless clips, comedy and sports, direct to your device. And when you thought things couldn't get easier, there's personal account management and Glow customer care right at your fingertips.
You can get everything at Glow.
Simply text BUZZ to 105 to download the Glow Cafe app or go to your app store and search for Glow Cafe, the largest data network. Glow, grandmasters of data.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the daring and invincible Louis the Mosquito. Responsible for 200 malaria cases all on its own. Is there anything that can kill Louis? Morphine! Presenting Mortise Power Guard. Its powerful formula kills malaria mosquitoes fast. So, get Mortise Power Guard.
The Administrative Staff College of Nigeria, ASCON, invites legislators at the national and state levels, policy formulators, project officers, officers involved in implementing development programs at the national, state, and local levels, coordinators of donor-driven development programs across the country, wives of the 36 states governors, NGOs, CBOs, and FBOs to its second national workshop titled Sustainable Development Strategies. Date, Monday 6th to 10th of November 2017. Venue, ASCON Complex, Topo Badagry, Lagos. Workshop fee, 85,000 naira per participant. Payment mode, account name, ASCON e-collection account. payable to any commercial bank. For further inquiries, please contact M.E. Oshinebo, Programs Director, on 080-3308-8163, or Babalola P., Programs Coordinator, on 090-3446-7728. Announcer, Director General, ASCON.
We appreciate you staying with us on the Network News. And now to business news. Consumer Protection Department of the Central Bank of Nigeria recovers about 50 billion naira illegally deducted charges for bank customers. This and other developments with Chazalam Ikie.
Welcome to Business News. Now, data from the National Bureau of Statistics indicates that the nation's gross oil revenue in July increased by 42.7%, that is about 363.42 billion naira. The report, titled Fiscal Statistics on Government Revenue and Expenditure for July 2017, states that gross revenue generated for July was 701.85 billion naira, while the net Federation account revenue after all deductions stood at 521.82 billion naira, while crude oil sales accounted for 188 billion naira, while company income tax and others generated 284.85 billion naira. And in a bid to protect bank customers from undue exploitation, the Central Bank of Nigeria says it has so far recovered over 50 billion naira from erring banks as excessive charges imposed on bank customers. The bank's spokesperson Isaac Okorafor said the money was recovered by the Consumer Protection Department of the bank.
But for that type of intervention, you can't even imagine the amount of exploitation that's going on and the kind of errors and issues that consumers have to deal with. Having said that, there's still quite some road to walk. The Central Bank recognizes that. We're working with them on a number of initiatives.
The Director General of the Consumer Protection Council, Babatunde Irukera, urges bank customers to report all cases of suspected illegal or excessive charges they feel their banks may have imposed on them.
I understand cynicism. I can recognize it, and I respect people who feel cynical about one thing or the other, but I'm almost certain that if they give us an opportunity to at least address some of their issues, their impression will certainly change.
A quick look at trading figures on the Nigerian stock market this Thursday. That's Business News. I'm Chiazala Ekie.
And time now to join Abdullahi in Kaduna for more reports. Hello, Abdullahi.
Hello, Sharon, and thanks for joining us in Kaduna. A consortium of 15 partner organizations made up of research institutes and polytechnics have concluded plans to come together and brainstorm to take a position on the utilization and commercialization of indigenous output of research and development. This was at a press conference ahead of the International Conference on Research, Innovation and Exhibition, scheduled to take place in Kaduna from the 10th to 12th of this month. The report. There is no doubt that the federal government spends millions of naira every year to support research and development of technology in the various agencies across the country. But of utmost concern to these group of technocrats is the non-utilization of the output of the research for commercialization. The group has therefore decided to come together and articulate their position, as well as stimulating the formation of a policy document by government to promote the utilization of the output of indigenous research.
The old generation countries that have been so well developed in Europe, in America, the Asian tigers, more emerging technologies, Indonesia, India, China, and the rest of them, they have their development frameworks rooted on research and innovation efforts.
The group expects the policy document to contain measures that will protect infant technology and mandate the private sector to play a critical role in the commercialization of the technology.
It will provide a starting point of collective advocacy by the consortium of partner organizations for commercialization of technologies developed in this country.
The group of technocrats also agree on the formation of an action plan implementation team to ensure effective implementation of the content of the policy document. Kaduna State Police Command says it is committed to reducing crime to zero level within the city center. State Commissioner of Police Agolabe stated this while parading some suspected criminals. Among them is Moses Sangai, alleged to have recently killed an 84-year-old man at his residence in Ungwarimi, Kaduna. Ahmad Umar Kudan has details. The current effort by Kaduna State Police Command to fight crime has started yielding positive results with the arrest of about 39 suspects alleged to have committed various crimes to include armed robbery, culpable homicide, illegal possession of firearms, kidnapping, criminal conspiracy, impersonation, and cattle rustling. Kaduna State Commissioner of Police Agiola Abe said certain measures have been taken to ensure protection of lives and property in the state.
In the last 2 months, Kaduna State Command and the IGIRT team have arrested over 70 kidnapped suspects, and they've made confessions.
Moses Sangai is a suspect alleged to have killed Alhaji Ahmad Usman.
This is what I used to go. I opened the door of the house.
Agiola Ave reaffirmed commitment of the command to ensure Kaduna Abuja and Kaduna Brunungwara highways are safe for the motoring public.
We have proactive measures already in place that to ensure that citizens feel safe while transiting this road.
He, however, called on people to report any suspicious movement in their areas to security agencies. In Kaduna, Ahmad Umar Kudang, NTA News. Many thanks, Ahmad. And Sean will now continue network news in Abuja. Sean.
Thank you, Abdullahi. And we will join Beauty.
Abdullahi.
And she has joined Beauty. And she has joined Beauty.
Let's go.
Other leaders at various levels to embark on programs and projects that would impact positively on the lives of the people. He was speaking in Owerri, the Imo State capital, while unveiling a book titled Rochas Revealed. Sele Osayende will tell us more.
Has 23 chapters with 420 pages. It chronicled the life and times of the state governor. Speakers at the event, the President of Nigeria, represented by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Geoffrey Oyama, and President of Ghana, Nana Akufo-Addo, commended the initiative, which exposed how the governor took advantage of opportunities before him to bless humanity.
Bringing Africa together, bringing children, the future generation of Nigeria together. This is putting in place the foundation for the peace we all yearn.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've been asked by the governor to speak on the theme of democracy in developing countries.
Governor Rochas is someone that forces you to like him, even when you don't like him.
The state governor, Rochas Okorocha, spoke on his political journey so far and the need for African integration for a better and healthy society.
Of course, I have this image of a lion that helped me to shift me from my political enemies. If they do know how weak I am, they will take advantage of it.
A representative of the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, the General Manager, NTA Owerri, Cecilia Essien, joined other dignitaries to present gifts to the governor who recently clocked 55. In Owerri, Selo Sande, NTA News.
Shehu, that's our beats. It's back to you. Thank you, Beauty. And sports is next on our lineup after this break. Please don't go away.
The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, is working to ensure access to safe, good quality essential medicines with the World Health Organization pre-qualification of made in Nigeria pharmaceutical products, stiffer penalties for fake drug offenders with a review of NAFDAC laws, national, regional, and international collaborations, cutting-edge technologies, including the mobile authentication service.
The production and distribution of counterfeit medicine and adulterated food products have negative impact on our health and economy as a whole. I urge all Nigerians to support NAFDAC in safeguarding our health. God bless Nigeria.
Let us support NAFDAC to win the war against fake drugs and other unwholesome regulated products. NAFDAC, safeguarding the health of the nation.
The Nigerian High Commissioner to Australia, Bello Hussein Kazore, has expressed satisfaction with the conduct and contribution of Nigerians in that country. The High Commissioner, at the commemoration of Nigeria's Independence Day in Australia, informed the international community that Nigeria is back on track and set to resume her role among the Committee of Nations. Musa Abubakar reports.
After about 2 years without a substantive ambassador, Nigeria's High Commissioner to Australia, Bello Hussein Kazore, assumed and presented letter of credence to the country's Governor-General, Sir Peter Cosgrove. Nigeria's High Commissioner, Bello Hussein Kazore, used the opportunity to woo investors to Nigeria. He informed NTA News in a telephone interview that Australians are watching with keen interest Nigeria's returning economic fortunes and improved security.
We have more than 10,000 Nigerians in Australia. Yes, in fact, they are making us proud.
The High Commissioner says the reception Nigeria and Nigerians are getting in Australia shows the country is back to the fold of respected nations of the world. In Abuja, Musa Abubakar, NTA News.
Time for sports now with Tamara Ibiwe.
Super Eagles technical advisor Gernot Rohr has assured Nigerians of a resounding victory against the Chipolo Polo of Zambia in their second leg 2018 FIFA World Cup qualifier in Uyo Saturday. John Paul Alumuna, who covered the team's media pally Thursday in Uyo, reports that the three-time African champions are battle-ready for the Southern Africans.
Let's be concentrated on the game who is coming. Nothing is done for them. The big work must be done to beat them.
Vincent Toga is still basking in the euphoria of clinching the West Africa Golf Tour Nation at 57 Golf Championship title at the Port Harcourt Golf Club, where he recovered from an 8-stroke deficit, heading into the final round to win with a total of 291, ahead of Zimbabwe's visitor Mapuanya and Nigeria's Kenneth Kwasu. The Ghanaian says insufficient sponsorship for professionals on the West African coast is a bane to producing world-class golfers who can challenge for honors at major world golf tours.
In this part of the world, the golf is not known. So if you call yourself a pro, you're a pro, it's very difficult to make a living out of it because there's no tournament.
As part of concerted efforts geared towards replacing aging athletes, the Nigeria Union of Teachers, Abuja Municipal Area Council, in particular with the Athletics Federation of Nigeria, are intensifying preparations towards hosting an inaugural Under-18 Inter-School Athletics Championship October 9 to 12, with 36 athletes from each of 48 eligible junior secondary schools expected to vie for honors.
We are equally working with the school principals of junior secondary schools and the sport game masters of the schools.
That's it on the Network News tonight. I am Sheung Olagunju. We thank you for watching.